Greetings, programs. Welcome back to ArcNeo Reviews, and welcome to a weekend special review. This is a figure that actually I had, it was on its way for quite some time, but with all the holiday extra shipping and stuff, it got severely delayed. So I was hoping to have this thing looked at already, but, it's here finally. We're going to do it now. Today we're taking a look at the legend itself, Armada Starscream. Words cannot explain how excited I am to have this absolute beast of a figure in my possession finally. As you can see, this is one of his weirder looking jet modes, with the legendary, very famous, just hands sticking out, trying to pretend that they're engines or something. Yeah, this thing is crazy, and this thing is loaded with sounds, actually, so we have a lot to go over in that regard. First sound, actually, will be activated once I come up here and push down on the cockpit, which will also reveal his minicon. I cannot remember his minicon's name. I am flashing that on the screen right now. But, yeah, he comes with this little tiny, I believe F1 racer. Really cool design. Very, very light on the paint. Basically just black and red. Transforms very easily. Go ahead. Click down the spoiler to reveal the face. Swing out the arms. Yes, they do just kind of do that at his side. Flip out the feet and split the legs. He is a very simple little guy, but pretty neat. He does what he needs to. This was like one of the first minicons, since, Starscream here was like wave 1 of Armada, so it makes sense that he'd be simple. This one is, basically just a slightly fancier accessory anyway. So, I'm going to go ahead, fold him back up into his car mode. And, so as you saw, he does clip on to the underside of Starscream's cockpit. There's little notches right here on the sides of this red piece that go in to the sides of right behind where the driver's head would go. I don't know the mechanical anatomy of an F1 car, but there's that. And what's important to note is that there's a button right here. This is pressed when the little guy is in there, and that's actually what tells us what noise to make. So when the button's pressed, you get that sound. However, when there's no minicon in there, aka the button not pushed, you get that. And then you're going to have kind of a similar deal back here with this little minicon port. You can pull this back when there's no minicon there. And you get this sound that lasts way too long. So when that finally shuts up, what you also can do is you go ahead, you take the minicon. One second, I'm just checking. This spoiler pushes back further than you expect it to, so I'm usually not sure if I have it pushed back all the way. But the moment that you plug it in, it will flip out his two blasters there. And if you have him pushed down all the way while you pull back, you get that sound. Taking him out so that we get fewer sounds right now. And so, obviously, those flip out. You've got these missiles. They do fire very, very well, actually. Back before they neutered all of our missile launchers with weak springs and, friction gimmicks. Just basic little fire blast looking things. So I believe that's it for all his sounds and craziness. I am actually very excited that this guy's sounds actually work. So many of these Armada figures I've gotten, their speakers have died and I can't get them to work so far. This guy works fine. I love it. My dog says hello. I swear, I can vacuum everything, be perfectly clean. The moment I start recording, one piece of dog hair floats down from the ceiling and directly onto my figure. Every time. I love my dog anyway. So, transforming this guy is very simple, very straightforward. Just because I can, I'm going to start by coming under here, flipping out his very, very tiny hands. Just to get that done with. Go ahead and extend the arms on their little double hinge to get them out of the way. You're going to come back here to what is very noticeably the legs. By the way, he has landing gear here and here. Yay. But you're going to come back here to the legs. Bring them down part way like that. You're going to want to fold them out. They do sort of lock in. There's no actual tabs. They just sort of friction lock there. But you're going to fold them down. Rotate them back into place. Finish straightening them out. Fold them up like that. And go ahead and fold out the heels now just because. And then you're going to finish bringing it down at the waist, I guess. As you can see, there's a piece that's going to come down in here, clip in there. And there's also a button that's going to get pushed. And once that button is hit, pops up his head. I love a good dramatic head reveal. That is something that modern Transformers are missing. So, from there, basically, just go ahead, take the cockpit, clip it down, come back here, and there's like very tiny tabs sticking out of the wings going into spots right there. Just kind of wiggle them free and get the wings rotated up. And there you have Starscream in his robot mode. And he looks amazing. I love the way he looks. Even if he's apparently hiding dog hair. I'm going to have to talk to my dog about playing with my figures when I'm not looking. Anyway, though, yes, I love this figure. It looks so cool. I love that screamy looking smirk there. A shame that they used minimum effort on the Decepticon insignias here. Part of me is tempted to see if I can take like a fine liner or something and just get a little definition pulled out of there. But at the same time, I don't want to ruin it. This thing is, at least in my book, a total classic. Posability wise, he's way more posable than you would expect for something of this era. The head doesn't do anything since it is spring-loaded, but the shoulders do rotate right there, as well as you do have that double-jointed forearm, which gives you a really, really good range of motion for how you want to do that. Nothing really at the hands other than, untransforming them a little bit. Careful about pushing this. He is still active and sounds. He can kick forward about that far. Kick back that far. Can't really kick out, unfortunately. But there is a rotation at the knee. And you can adjust the heel if you need to. Not the most posable thing, but it works decently well. He does have Minicon ports on either forearm. So you can go ahead, snap this guy on, which I do like the way that looks. Because of the way the front of this car is shaped, it kind of makes him look like an arm blade. So that's pretty neat. Also, a little molded Decepticon insignias there as well. This guy has a lot of Decepticon insignias on him, which is always a nice touch with Starscream. And obviously, the big claim to fame gimmick on this guy is this wing, which I'm sure many of you have noticed looks a little different than the other one. Because this one you can rip off, unfold, and give him as a sword. It looks totally ridiculous, and I love it. So, yeah, this video is basically just me gushing about this guy. Yes, you can activate these by just squeezing them in ever so slightly. They barely actually hook in. But, yeah, this is a figure that I have wanted for an incredibly long time. Because one of the first, like, Starscream figures I got was the Generations Deluxe sort of redo of this design. And ever since I got that, I really wanted the original. I've got him. He's great. I could not be more excited with this guy. Yeah, spoiler, if this guy had actually gotten here, like, before the end of the year like he was supposed to, he actually would have overtaken Omega Prime. Because I can't help it. I'm like a giddy little 6-year-old here holding this thing. This is so cool. So, like, you know, my style of Transformer. I'm genuinely overjoyed to have this thing nowadays. So, major recommendation should you ever come across this thing at being sold for a decent price. He can be a little steep depending on where you look, but I can say that he is worth it. Just don't let your dog play with him like I apparently did. So, yeah, fantastic figure. Excited to have this thing. Anyway, me gushing and ranting aside, thank you guys for watching as always, and I will see you next time.